You're listening to the Ottawa Homeboyz Podcast, your go-to source for Ottawa real estate and everything in between. Now, here are your hosts, Abuzar Shiki, Dan Burton, and Ahmed Hage Hassan. This podcast is about the real estate market in Ottawa and housing advice. But the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact the Homeboyz or any licensed real estate professional for specific recommendations before you make decisions about your real estate needs.
Welcome to a new episode of Ottawa Homeboyz Podcast. I'm Abuzar Shiki along with my colleagues.
Dan Burton, nice to be here.
Ahmed Hage Hassan.
Welcome, and a special guest, Micaela, our other colleague who's been in the business and also with Right at Home Realty. Welcome.
Thank you.
We'll talk about you first, and then we'll get into what's happening with us, our listings, and so on. And as we always do at Micaela, feel free to talk about yourself, where you're coming from, as well as any listings you may have that you want to mention to our listeners. This is getting a word out and another way of marketing your listings. So yeah, go ahead.
So, as you boys know, Micaela Sauve. I've been in the industry a little over 2 years. I'll be celebrating 3 years in July. I've been in Ottawa. I've called Ottawa home for about 11 years. I'm originally from North Bay, Ontario. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but a lot of people in Ottawa have actually come from there.
Okay.
It's a popular kind of next step, especially for students, people graduating high school. They're looking to kind of gain their own wings. Ottawa tends to be the place they head, right? The big city with a small town vibe.
Yeah.
Cool. And are you more leaning towards listing now? Are you doing working with buyers? How do you feel?
So I'm doing a mix of both, really. Still being newer in the industry, I haven't really kind of honed in. I love both, to be honest. I'm not sure I will ever kind of niche down into either buyer or seller.
Right.
They both have their perks. They both kind of, light
That's
up.
a safer, right? Depending what the market is, right?
Well, depending what the market, but then additionally, I like to change things up. That's kind of part of the reason I'm in real estate is I couldn't stay in the 9 to 5 same grind every day. And so I like the, me and Dan were talking yesterday working with first time home buyers. There we go. And just how exciting it is to kind of live through them, like through that phase of life, that new chapter as they're gaining their wings and starting in that world. But at the same time, for selling a house, one of my first house sales was somebody that he was moving into a retirement residence because he was just ready for a change, didn't want to be keeping up with the house. So I got to help guide him through that transition and
just rewarding, right?
Well, it's rewarding, right? The relief he felt when the house sold, and he's like, I'm free to just
That's it.
be retired and do what I want, not be tied down to owning a house.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty cool sometimes too when you realize that a lot of sellers haven't actually sold a house.
That's
true. Because they bought their home, they've been living in it for quite some time, or maybe they have sold their house, but we're talking about a decade, 15, 20 years ago, and things have changed drastically since then. How important is it to have your home stand out compared to back then when they had one photo up on MLS and you just kind of show up and do your tours that way?
Yeah, it was good old days.
Yeah, you would know.
I'm not that much of a dinosaur.
Not that many years ago.
Yeah.
So Ahmed, what's going on with you?
Good, man. It's been a pretty busy start to the year. We had our seminar last week, so that was great. We've been planning that for quite some time, on and off mostly. We took a little bit of a break in between, but it was really nice to collaborate with you guys and put it all together. It went well. We had a nice flow, and best part is being able to present in front of people that we knew and we were comfortable with. So that made it a lot easier. Other than that, I still have my listing for sale on Springfield. We just had a price drop of $20K. It's gone quite some action since then. We just need the right. It's a very niche home. We just need the right buyer.
Talk about the neighborhood first. I feel like that's key. Where it's situated, the price point, and what it was before. I think that's.
Yeah, for sure. It was priced at $580. Now it's priced at $560. It's in New Edinburgh, which is more of a mature neighborhood. You definitely have older clientele that live in and around the area. The awesome thing is it's just on the outskirts of downtown. You know, you got basically Beechwood area right there. You have a metro, so it's very close walking distance to grocery stores. And then if you want to get to downtown, you know, you're a hop skip away, a 10-minute drive. So interesting area, interesting layout, because it used to be a restaurant. It's just going to take a very particular buyer, no matter what the price point is.
Cool.
One of the definitely, like, maybe it's a hidden gem, maybe it's not hidden anymore. It's an awesome neighborhood, though, man. I had a listing in New Edinburgh about a year ago now, and you got river on both sides, yeah. You got parks and trails along the river.
And the landscape's changing so much in Ottawa, right?
So many trees. Yeah. It's a really green neighborhood for being that close to downtown. It's pretty sweet.
I like being in the neighborhoods in New Edinburgh, but then you have that main intersection, which is like insanity.
It's chaotic, isn't
Holy smokes, man. That place is crazy.
Yeah. Dan?
Good to be back, guys. Good to
how
be
was
back.
how was the vacation?
Oh,
around the world in how many days?
Bucket list trip for sure.
Yeah.
We took on quite a bit. It was quite a trip. Probably gonna leave it for another bucket list one, maybe a few years down the line. Maybe next time we go on something that big again. We were gone mostly around Christmas until basically mid-January. Lots of different things to see. The purpose was to visit some friends that were getting married in South India. So that was nice that we were able to do that, and it's probably a once-in-a-lifetime thing that
for sure
I was able to attend and see just everything that they do, and it was packed, man. So
how's the real estate in India?
Good question.
That is a very good
What our house is made out of.
Good question. No, it's totally different over there, man. It's totally different. And the area we were in, actually, is really cool, Ahmed, like to get under the real estate side of it. There's Portuguese influence there mixed with Indian influence.
Oh, really?
It's really
Where
cool.
is this now?
Yeah,
South
it's really
of
cool.
India?
It's like, it's south in my mind. I'm going to get hate for sure for calling it south. It's like a couple hours south of Mumbai. So it's called Goa.
Okay,
Yeah,
Portuguese, interesting.
Yeah, Portuguese were there until a few hundred years ago.
Oh, wow.
So
I thought it was like a British.
Well, the British, exactly.
I thought it was fully British, but I mean, you know.
Other parts, yeah.
Yeah,
parts.
that's cool. Cool.
Yeah, and nice to be back. Great to get a podcast in with you guys.
Absolutely, we missed you with the previous ones. So.
Missed you guys too.
Yeah.
Aside from just traveling around the world, no, I haven't done a lot of real estate lately. Kind of just getting settled back in. I had that nice corner unit townhome in Richmond. Got that one rented just when we got back. Got a great tenant moving in there soon. Aside from that, I did bring a listing in Chinatown to market.
Okay.
So it's a 5-plex. There's commercial on the main floor, 4 residential units above it. Right near the intersection where the Chinatown gate is, Somerset and Bronson there. My guy actually helped get that up. Shout out. So great, really cool, great area, really central. And a nice, affordable, conveniently located 1-bedroom in there for rent. So
very cool.
That's what I got on the go right now.
Nice.
How about yourself?
It's been okay with buyers. We're just looking around now. First-time home buyers especially. Pre-approvals are getting done, which is nice. We know where they're coming from as far as price range, and then just a matter of the right property coming on the market. Focusing in Orleans now. Sometimes you just get pulled into certain areas. It used to be Canada a lot, and now I'm getting pulled towards Orleans, and I mean, it's a beautiful spot anyway, so I'm more than glad to be there. A couple of listings, have a rental and for sale. The for sale is 1213 in Beaumont Street. This is Surville and Carson Grove, so you're pretty much very close by to Saint Laurent Mall. You got Food Basics, Adonis, and it's a 4-bedroom home with 2-bath, finished basement, and you have renovated kitchen as well. So sweet price point at $395
That one struck me as like nice size, nice renovations, and nice price point for that. Like it looks like you guys have been good.
So I think it'll be good. I actually had the Toronto investor of mine. Like they used to live in Ottawa. We bought, and then they moved to Toronto, and then now he's actually coming on Tuesday just to take a look at this this unit. And the condo fee is good as well. You're hovering around the 460s, and it includes water as well. So I feel these are the units that are a good starter home for especially first-time home buyers, sort of, just to get their feet wet and get into the market. Because we saw how easily these options faded when COVID hit, and it just disappeared, and now we're back in it again. So I think that's a good opportunity for a lot of buyers to get back into this game now. Another rental that I have is 250 let on the 3rd floor, overlooking the courtyard. I don't know if you guys are familiar with let, but just close to the War Museum, and close proximity to the core, downtown core. So looking for a tenant for that, and
they finally got a grocery store in the area too.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
basics,
so it's I mean, if the stadium comes along as well, that'd be huge, right? So it'll be a couple of years for for it to get established, but I mean, the value of these condos. I'd be very interested to see how it'll turn around for sure. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So
I thought it'd be great to talk about some new agent, journeys, and especially because me, Dan, and Micaela, we're all under around 3 years or under, essentially, and most agents actually would have called it quits by now. So we're still in the business.
That's what they say, 2 years, right? 2 years is the sweet point of most new agents are done after 2 years. Mm-hmm. If you make it over the hump, then...
I think
nice to still see you guys.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's good to be here, guys.
Yeah. I think, with that said, we've all faced our challenges. I think it would be interesting to chat about what are the reasons that agents do not proceed, right? And I'm sure we can all attest to different stories or different things that have happened to us that have made us this close to throw in the towel.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I like that you bring that up, man. I was killing time at a showing where my client had brought a friend, and we were just chatting, right? Just getting to know each other. And that question came up of like, well, how do people last, and how come some people don't last? And I felt like, man, my mind immediately went to the safety net aspect of things, right? I think it's something that you don't necessarily think enough about before you get into the business. But once you're in it as, for example, like fully solo, right, agents at a brokerage where there's nothing given to you, there's really nothing to keep you from, I don't know, there's nothing to keep you earning without you going out and getting it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. And then if you're on the team vibe or team type of environment, unfortunately, the unfortunate reality is some agents start to maybe, get the lower end of the quality of leads, and they might be promised XYZ, and they kind of rely on that without putting in the work to get their own business, and that could also make you.
So you have to be very smart, especially when you're joining a team. I mean, smart in the sense that you got to realize there's a reason that you've been recruited. Is the initial deals you'll be doing is from your family members and your friends. So once those evaporate, and you're giving up 50% of the commission, then you have to see the leads that you're being fed. Are they worth, for instance, for you to continue, and how much you're learning in exchange for that decision that you're making.
That's the other big thing too, right? The more that you can learn when you're that new, the more, like, I would encourage any new agent just to soak in.
So it's a training. It's like you got to pay the dues, do your time, and don't look at the commission. And yes, you do need that safety cushion with finances. You need a bit of savings or a significant other that has a steady income that's able to something, right? For you to be able to fully mentally be in that zone for the full-time aspect. And I think that's the failure part, is that a lot of the part-times will fade out and are struggling just because this is not a job to pay for your vacation. And a lot of them are looking for a deal. I'll do a deal.
Oh, a deal a month.
And then I'll go on my vacation and I'll be with the government and whatever. I wouldn't buy from anyone knowing that they're doing this part-time.
For sure. And like, I had my back up against the wall when I did this job. I was at a point, I dove in full-time. I took the courses full-time. I started working full-time. So I had zero income coming in. Mortgage over my head, like finding out like the hard way, wow, this amount of savings isn't going to really last me that long. And you really start to get stressed out when you think a deal is coming and it just doesn't come. I picked up this client and for sure they're going to buy with me the next month. And then that falls through, right? It's crazy. It's crazy to kind of to go through that experience. But I was so close to picking up a part-time job, and I told myself, I'm like, if I do this, it's going to take away from what I love doing. Decided not to do that.
Exactly. The thing I leaned into the heaviest when I was the newest, you guys already know. You can read my mind here. It's rentals, right? I would honestly encourage any new agent to do that, because like we're chatting about just getting experience with things, like it's as much good experience you can get of working with a buyer without actually having that buyer, right?
The forms are very similar, so it's a great opportunity to, in school we learn about all of the forms and contracts and documents and even the day-to-day life of business. We learn that in school, but there's nothing quite like getting your hands on it and doing it yourself and living through the experience. And rentals are a lower impact way to get your hands in it. Start working the forms, having the conversations, right? Part of our job is explaining these contracts and these forms to buyers and sellers and renters, and it's a great opportunity to get exercised, and it keeps you fresh. I could just imagine how hard it is to go into the industry, learn all of this in school, but then go a whole year before touching a form again and getting no experience because you're adamant about waiting for the buyer or the seller.
For sure.
Like the rent, like I said, the renters are
and
just
we're
a
like
great way.
we're almost like therapists as well, right?
For sure.
So I mean, to understand the psyche and how people think, and that's a good training. I mean, it's a whole beat down. Dealing with tenants in a sense. But again, it will train you. Like then when you're getting into actually, for example, dealing with sellers, buyers, those tools. I mean, you may not have made so much on those, for instance, rental deals. Rather, you've gained the knowledge and tools to know how the responses will be in certain circumstances, and this will make you more money when dealing with buyers and sellers.
Well, like you were saying, I stand by it completely. The first few even years, it shouldn't be, well, it should never be about how much commission you're making. But you have to focus the first few years on experience over dollar. Like you can't get caught up in the buyers and the sellers. You have to do the renters, because it gives you the training wheels, it gives you the experience, it gives you everything you need, so that when you are working with the buyers and sellers, you're familiar with it. You know what you're doing, and
it's almost something nice to keep in mind as well too. Like you said, experience over dollar when you're new, and then I think like results, best interests, everything over dollar as you get more experience, right?
Oh yeah.
Because like in the example Ahmed gave, like kind of when you're thinking of the cash return, it's harder to
it's
get.
Very
it's
difficult.
More elusive.
It's easier said than done, for sure. I mean, it's a vicious cycle because we need money to survive, but at the same time, the ethical part of things and doing your business with integrity sort of at hand as well. So to find that balance, it's very, very, very difficult. And this is why we're doing what we're doing. And I tell my friends sometimes that like they make that I'm the Wolf of Wall Street is unknown. amongst the so when the jokes come out, and then I respond in a friendly manner. I'm like, why don't you do what I do? And just the silence, right? Obviously, it's they cannot go through one day, thinking they're not going to make a dime, right? So.
Well, it's not as easy as social media makes it out to be, right? Yeah. We are self-employed in an environment where social media deems realtors to really be the enemy, right? When realistically, we're all just here to help. That's primarily, I think, why we're all in the business, is because we want to help people. Mm-hmm. But we're self-employed in an industry that, quite frankly, and isn't talked about enough, quite expensive, right? Mm-hmm. We're paying for all of these services that we're using. We're paying our offices, we're paying the list goes on, right? The school, the office, the fees,
the insurance,
right? The insurance, we're paying all of these things, fees. And that has, in the first few years, that's coming out of your own pocket. Yeah. I mean, it always is, but in the first while, you're not making anything, but you're outing a ton of money, right?
Yeah, it's why, I mean, you look at commission, that's being currently charged, and I think there's always an argument that commission hasn't changed, or the rate hasn't changed, and prices have gone up, or whatever, right? We do make more per sale, but how much more competition is there? How many more other agents are there? And how much more undecisive are people now because of how much prices have gone up? It's different when you're, going back 20 years and home prices were under 200,000. I get it, like inflation and stuff like that does make an impact. But we're handling so much emotions through the buying or selling.
Look at the volatility of the prices too on that topic. Like if, for example, you were working with somebody during COVID, and your understanding was a middle unit townhome was $750K, right? Maybe you read the room, knew things were going to change, and advised to wait or whatnot, right? Like in that example, instead of you're losing tens of thousands back 10, 20, 30 years ago, now you're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. And even I don't know if you guys want to talk what's going on in the market right now, what you guys are seeing, but even something I'm seeing right now is there's a lot of chatter about defaults happening. I know there's products that are coming into the marketplace too. You guys may have seen them advertised of securing that your home will sell, right? Which I'd never seen before. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
What realtors advertising mean?
Yeah. So you know how when you get to a firm deal, right? Your buyer submits an NOL. Right. The home is sold firm, taken off the market. You wait a couple months for closing date. Right. It's a product that's going to guarantee that closing happens, right?
This is banks offering, or is it independent party?
All sorts of things.
I see.
Yeah, all sorts of things. But overall, to look at that that topic, the amount of money that you might lose in a volatile market like that, does it leave you not even being able to make that move, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's the risk, right? And with any job, there's a certain amount of risk involved, and ours is significant, right? We're basically riding the waves, and in order to be able to, arrange your lifestyle, your expectations, and everything else, and run a family at the same time on this, it's immense in terms of how much dedication would actually take to. Mm-hmm. So I think we should credit ourselves, but that's the thing. What people see typically is the commission, right? Yeah. They don't see the heartache. They don't see that I have to show to 5 buyers who may not buy anything.
Well, it's the hours on the road.
And then it's the seller that pays us, and then they're like, oh, look how much this guy made. Listen, his home. They haven't seen those five buyers that we worked with that it did not work, right?
Well, they also haven't seen
time spent.
They also haven't seen the amount of time you spent on the road getting to and from that listing, the expense paid, say, on photos or staging and even the realtor fees, right? Yeah. Because a lot of what we pay on the back end is funding things that is accessible to the public, right?
For sure.
The realtor system exists because realtors are here.
That's it.
Keeping it afloat, right? Yeah.
Bringing emotions to bed. Sometimes, I get a text up late at night, and it's not a desirable text from a client, and you understand their position, you understand the amount of stress they could be under. But yeah, the amount of times I, bring
please
that
don't
to
text
sleep.
me at 9:30 at night, please.
Do
Whoever's
not disturb after
listening,
9
do
p.m.
not.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I don't care. And it's the personal sacrifice.
Yeah.
The time we put away from our families, right, to be able to see to what the job demands. The sacrifice is not seen. It's like we're working 365.
Yeah, I saw
nonstop.
I saw this funny video today, and it was just like it hit home because it was somebody saying, what the public doesn't see, and it was a realtor that was, I think he was snowboarding or skiing, and he stopped mid-run because a client was calling, and it was like a 911 urgency. I need you, and just stops it on the hill and answers the phone. But sometimes that's what it is, right? It's pulling the car over on the highway because somebody's calling you or texting you and really needs you.
Should we go round table here and see where the funniest place that we've taken a phone call is? I'm sure there's some good ones on that
Going
topic.
down memory lane.
I took one a month and a half ago. Actually, we submitted an NOF. My wife and I had gotten a gift to go to a spa day, and we actually had taken it that day. Right, it just was something that lined up for her schedule and mine. But I'm like, I know I got to get this NOF in, right? So I brought my laptop with me, and I was like sending it off, and then my guy was calling. So it was like 7 p.m. or something on a Friday night. You're supposed to be at the spa, like doing your thing, right? No, yeah, I'll get it done for you. So that's probably the first that comes to my mind.
Yeah,
for me.
Cool.
I've written an offer outside of the house that we showed.
I've done that too.
Like laptop on top of car while I'm talking to them in the middle of the neighborhood. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I wrote an offer one time sitting in front of a chip stand because it was the day right before Thanksgiving. So I was in the car heading to my family's Thanksgiving thing, and the clients called and said, we really want to see this property. Like, we think this is the one. And I said, all right, we're going. Like, right now, let's go, pack the bags. They loved it. And so I just pulled the car over, drumming up an offer, talking to them, getting it all in, just because business doesn't sleep. Business, the real estate market doesn't care that it's Thanksgiving.
I think that's what makes our job so exciting too. Like I love it. I love like going to Munster and pulling up to a coffee shop and having breakfast before before a showing or a listing appointment. Like
there's a lot of cool things about what we do too, right?
Yeah.
The excitement of putting the offer in, but also the feeling of like meeting somebody for the first time, walking them through the home.
Oh, yeah.
What's that going to feel like for them? Like, can you see that look in their eyes of like,
when they fall in love with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's cool.
I don't know. I've done all like sit in the car. That's my thing. Like that's my thing. So it's like, but that finding a little ledge or something and you can never find
in the car
a place
it's the worst.
to put that to put that laptop, right? Put it over your mug, and and then the wrist starts hurting after
the mug.
after the after 15 minutes, your wrist starts killing you, but you gotta stop.
And nobody talks about how stressful it is to write an offer in like your car.
In your car, while you have they're basically a couple of partners, and you have to do your e-signatures 4 times.
Classic.
So, but I've done my I don't know. The only thing that comes last year probably. I shouldn't have done this, but there was a buyer client who was looking to submit, and it was sudden, and at the same time it was Cancun, and being me, I went. He's laughing. I was at the beach with my kids. It was lots of waves, and then long story short, I see my phone's gone. So like the water took my phone, and now I'm back in the hotel and then the guy wants to submit an offer. I'm trying to log into our system here, right? And then you need an authentication of text. So I have no phone to call the board.
Wow.
Right?
Did you message Jim or something? Or
Jim.
Yeah, he did it.
Nice.
Jim, the Jim we had here. Is that a joke?
Yo, Jim, can you write the offer for me, bro?
Anyways,
hope he's not listening in.
So it's so yeah, that was basically the struggle I went through. But that's it. But then you have to weigh and see, like, really, we need that pause, right? And I really try now that it's like, turn off the switch.
Man, having another agent, like,
and it's having you guys as well.
For sure,
right? It helps a lot. But sometimes it's just you want to see to that client in a sense, and then pass it on to the right. Yeah. And I was at that stage. I'm like, what are you looking for? Yeah. Breaking it down, and then I would basically, okay, these are the terms. I'm not gonna spend all the time doing this, taking it away from my vacation, and then I typically pass it on and so on. And it's nice to have colleagues such as you guys to do this with. But yeah, this was just and your mind, you're completely, your phone is your life, right? Like I can't think of any other, like, your kids, and then you got your phone and your laptop, man. If that goes, it's like
it's one of your entities.
That's it.
It's an extension of us.
Yeah, that's it. So because of that, thankfully it was all backed up. But to find that midpoint or balance, how much are you going to work off when you're off, and then I'm leaning towards just switching it all off. And
well, kind of backpedaling a bit here. I think that's why so many new agents burn out.
The burnout
is because it can be kind of a grind, and until you find that balance, which for most people takes a while, right?
For sure.
In the beginning, most people are doing just about anything to try and close the deal at the expense of themselves, and that weighs on a person, right? When you're like writing the deal on Thanksgiving or in the car with your kids and the phone goes missing and everything feels like it's falling apart, you can burn out pretty quickly, right?
Agreed, yeah.
And so after a while, you get over the 2 years or the 3 years, you get kind of over that hump, and you're starting to kind of find the balance and figuring out what is important to you to prioritize, right?
I think when you're new, you have to want it badly as well, right?
Oh,
that desire to be in this business.
The hunger.
That's what's key, because I can think, like, Micaela is speaking, but I'm hearing my own memories of this exact, many situations when I was new. But if you look forward, and if you look at, like, this is why I'm doing it, gives you a bigger picture.
And there's never, and again, coming from a 9-to-5 job, you're constantly looking for a reward. If I'm putting this much time, this is what I should be getting. There is no should be.
Yeah, true.
You put the time, and it will come back to you, and that's how the business is.
Yeah, but you don't know when it'll come back to you.
There is no, exactly. There is no direct reward.
True.
Rather, it's how much can you get out, how many people can you see, and somehow it just comes back.
You work for months, right? And you finally get a sale, and then you don't close for another 2 months. It's pretty crazy to think about, like, how much time we spend learning and networking and connecting, all to make our jobs easier.
Yeah.
So this is my first podcast with you guys of 2026, and kind of on what Abuzar's note, what you're chatting about. Want to hear what you guys are prioritizing in this new year. What are you doing looking forward? That's the most exciting, coolest thing you got on the go. What can you tease?
Networking for me is big. Cool. I want to network with other agents. I know I told you guys I've been calling agents from Toronto and just introducing myself as an Ottawa realtor.
It's awesome.
So that has been going pretty well. I don't anticipate somebody to call me tomorrow and be like, hey, Ahmed, I got a lead for you. But planting those seeds.
Yeah, and I think an agent-to-agent referral, man, is one of the strongest things you can get in this business. When that agent already has such a great relationship with their client, that client, even if, for example, say they're in Ottawa, went to the Toronto agent and them are having a conversation, it just goes to show that there's a really tight-knit feel there. And then when that agent brings them to you, and again, if you guys are tight, they can really work nicely. Some of the earliest deals I've done have been like that. And I've found it's just really supportive, really easy to get done.
It's awesome.
Yeah. For me, it's, I agree, networking. I'm really getting out in that aspect. I want to do that more. It's our first-time home buyer seminar I want to focus on more. So the next one coming up, we'll be doing it on the first or second week of April. So and then the podcast that we have, I really want to like push these to an extent to the next level for this coming year. And for us dinosaurs, and as I was talking to another colleague of mine, we agreed that it's down to the basics now. So yeah, so basically as small as, for instance, especially with COVID, I stopped giving out feature sheets and stuff to buyers. And you think with the new generation that's insignificant. It's not. So I basically went, it was a beatdown for me last year. It was a hard learning, you know, with my listing side of things and the buyers. And thankfully, because of the changes I've made now, I'm seeing the result now. But the fact that I'm printing sheets now, full on, handing it over to these first time younger buyers, and I see that the response is so positive that, you know, it's not what you think, right? I feel like technology sometimes makes us a bit lazy, thinking that, you know, what's the point? Obviously, we don't want to waste paper, but again, it's something that will be beneficial for the process.
I think giving, you know, I love giving them a little buyer physical package, so like they can take it, look through. There's some good information for I picked up my most recent buyer from that. He opened my folder when we were at the showing, and I have a little blurb about me, what I've done in the business, and what I've done before. One of the questions he asked me, he's like, "Oh, what did you do before real estate?" I did fitness and blah blah blah. We just got a conversation going. That's awesome. And I left that initial meeting completely cold. He was a Realtor.ca lead, completely cold, and the response after was just great. You know, we're working together now. We're going out for showings. It's little things like that that really.
I think what's really cool about these examples, boys, is like something big in sales is called pattern disrupt. You guys probably know this. Like every time somebody is getting hammered with the same. When you do something different, and that's going back now, right? It's your message that gets across. So if you bring something physical, it's great. We talked about this at Christmas, but about doing like personalized letters. Yes. How, like, if you check your mail, 90% of it's just in the recycling. Or
it is
garbage
that.
right
It is
away.
that. No more will you see anything. It's always either bills, which are mostly now, digital, or it's some, whatever. I don't want to say crap, but anyways, it's nothing to look forward to anymore.
No.
You know, going to that, but then when you get that letter from your realtor, you know, wishing you a happy birthday or your anniversary for your home, and you know, it's still a nice touch, and I still write it by hand.
Yes.
As hard as it's really like it's you know, printing off labels will be much easier, but I write it by hand, and I think from the feedback I'm getting, it's appreciated. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, because when it's handwritten, you can tell that somebody put the time, the energy, and the attention into it, right? These, as much as I appreciate somebody just simply acknowledging that a birthday happened or a home anniversary happened, you know, those pre-printed cards that are pre-decided, I feel like a step of the thought is not there, right? It's just, you know, putting the card in the mail. But if it's been handwritten, it acknowledges that I took the time to put towards you. You know, I was actively thinking about you and your life and the fact that you're hitting this milestone, right? There's
guaranteed not ChatGPT as well.
I mean, you can never get a guarantee nowadays, right? But it's their name. I feel like, especially COVID, right? Post-COVID sort of a thing, how people have distanced themselves in a certain way, especially those working from home. When you get that letter and it's someone actually took the time to write your name, and I'm really picky on that. If the name is spelled correctly or it's addressed to me and so on. Yeah. And it makes a difference, right?
Big time.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's a short message, man. Like when I send my holiday cards, it's just, hey, wishing you a happy holidays. Yeah. Something quick, you know, just knock off 20 in like 30 minutes and you're good to go.
Yeah, and it's appreciated, you know, people acknowledging that you're thinking of them. And
I think this is what I'm most looking forward to for 2026.
Podcast?
The podcast.
Yeah. Nice.
Want to get more guests on, so if you're listening in and thinking that you might have a related business that you want to share or just chat as an agent, we'd love to have guests like Micaela for coming today. And I think it's just great just to talk about sort of what we're doing, and like it's built great support systems for us to lean on each other.
Absolutely.
But it's also built great connections where we could do cool new things like host a seminar or give back to the community.
For sure.
Like that. Like I see that going a long way.
And if anyone, business owners, local, listening to this, definitely this is a new thing. I mean, if the weather permits and we go off, a bit warmer, but we'll be definitely getting out. And whether it's an invitation to our podcast, but if you're busy, definitely we'll meet up at your area, whether it's a restaurant, whatever. Have a sit down with you and do a podcast at your spot there, so that we support local businesses and we get to know you. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Micaela, any plans for you this year?
My big priorities this year is similar to what we were talking about earlier, is finding the balance of, what's true to me, what do I want out of the business, what is the best way that I can do that and still help my clients in the best possible way. And finding that balance and really, really connecting with people.
Yeah.
Networking is also really huge to me. I'm an agent supporting agents kind of person. And so I'm always just here, supporting my fellow agents, having those conversations, and bringing to light some of the difficulties that, we are seeing on a day-to-day basis. And this can be an isolating industry. And one of my
coming
goals.
into the office and getting together, that's one of the trading stories, and, and then you're feeling better.
And what you guys do with the Girls' Day once a month here, the women's meetup, the women's in real estate meetup, that's super cool.
Yeah, if you guys know any women, it's open to any brokerages. It's just women in real estate. And I mean, we even have some other people joining, like mortgage brokers and stuff that have, because it's simply just an opportunity to discuss, support. One of our latest discussions has been being in a male-dominated industry. What are ways that, the industry is not necessarily meeting women's needs? And part of that conversation was like self-defense courses, right? A lot of times. I think, that woman in Toronto still rings true to a lot of agents, right?
Yeah.
Just, we tend to be meeting with people by ourselves in, confined spaces, like a private home, right?
It's you don't think of it, but it's, even me, I sometimes feel intimidated. Like,
I think
you don't know, like first time home buyer, like I've done this, like, taking a guy inside the basement of a dingy old house is friggin'
sketchy,
4 times my size, and I don't know this. I don't know who this guy is. It's not, it might seem amusing, but it's serious. Same thing.
4 times your size, so that was Ahmed.
Well, I think it's just as important for men too to be doing those things, looking out for themselves.
It's the safety measures taken, and yeah, for sure. I know for a fact, like, stories that, again, tenants attacking agents, like, this is and we see all sorts of things.
There's not necessarily a specific target,
no,
but being alone in a
absolutely,
house is it's a risk we all take every day, right?
For female realtors, for sure, there's much more, I would assume, to be able to
I don't know
how to handle the situation.
I try to keep my head out of the stats
Yeah.
because I'm a person that gets really caught up in fear.
Yeah.
So I try to stay out of the stats, but I'm sure there is.
It's just to mentally prepare for perhaps possible any possibility, in a sense. I guess that's the idea. So good for you guys. That's awesome. So we're doing also on that note. There's a Monday thing happening with Right at Home as well. That it's open to all agents, from my understanding. So every Monday.
Every other Monday.
Every other Monday. So then it's just we have our meeting, and then right after the meeting in our Glebe office, it's open to any realtors, and I'm sure we will welcome any other realtors from any other brokerages, in a sense.
Right at Home Roundtable.
Yeah,
the Right at Home Roundtable. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, really? That's awesome.
That's neat.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Well, any last words, ladies and gents?
Nice catching up with
Awesome.
you guys.
It was
Good
a
to be
perfect,
back. Good to get Micaela
good seeing
on.
you.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
coming,
me, guys.
and hopefully we'll see you soon. Awesome.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
again.
Take care.
All right.